Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we explore rare, historical, and fascinating coins from around the world. Today, we're diving deep into the history and value of the United Kingdom 10 new pence coin from 1969. This coin holds a very special place in British numismatic history because it was one of the very first decimal coins issued in the UK. So if you've ever found one of these coins in your collection, or perhaps tucked away in an old jar, keep watching, because you might be surprised at what it's worth today. Let's go back to the late 1960s. In 1966, the British government announced that the country would switch from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a new decimal system. Before decimalization, the currency was quite complicated. 1 pound equaled 20 shillings, and 1 shilling equaled 12 pence, making 240 pence in a pound. Prepare the public for this change. New coins were introduced gradually, starting in 1968. Among them was the 10 new pence coin, which was equivalent to 2 old shillings. This meant the public could use the coin in everyday life even before full decimalization day in 1971. The 1969 issue was the second year of mintage for the 10 new pence coin. It was made of copper nickel, with a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, which is significantly larger than the later 10 pence coins introduced in 1992. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This was the second official portrait of the Queen used on British coinage, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. On the reverse side, the coin features the Lion Passant Guard ant, which is part of the Royal Arms of England. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, a famous British coin designer. So, the 1969 10 new pence is not just a coin, it's a symbol of the UK's shift into the modern decimal era. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know, the value of this coin today. Because the 10 new pence coin was heavily minted for circulation, millions of coins were produced in 1969. That means in average circulated condition, the coin is not particularly rare. In fact, most circulated examples today are worth only about 10 to 50 pence to collectors, which is just slightly above face value. However, the story changes if you have a coin in better condition. A brilliant uncirculated 1969 10 new pence can fetch anywhere from £2 to £5 coins in proof sets, or exceptionally well-preserved examples can go £4.10 or more, especially if graded by a professional coin grading service. Rare error coins, such as misstrikes, can be even more valuable, sometimes fetching £20 to £50, depending on the error type and collector demand. The value also depends on collector interest, since many people enjoy completing sets of early decimal coins from 1968 and 1969. Condition plays the biggest role in determining value. Here's a quick breakdown. These coins show lots of wear, faded details on the lion, and scratches on the Queen's portrait. Worth only face value. Some detail is still visible, but the coin shows clear signs of use. These may be worth 50p to £1 minimal wear. Most details are sharp, and the coin still has some original shine. Value could be around £2 to £3. These are the real gems for collectors. No wear, sharp details, and original luster intact. Such coins can be worth £5 to £10 or more. Collectors also value the coin as part of a full decimal coin collection, making it more desirable if you're selling in a complete set. So, the 1969 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin is a fascinating piece of history from the early days of decimalization. While it may not make you rich overnight, its real value lies in its story, the transition from an ancient monetary system to the modern currency we know today. To truly understand the importance of the 1969 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin, we need to travel back in time to a major turning point in British monetary history, the transition from the old currency system to decimalization. For centuries, Britain had used the pounds, shillings, and pence system, which dates back to the Anglo-Saxon era. Under this system, there were 240 pennies in a pound, 12 pennies in a shilling, and 20 shillings in a pound. While this worked well for a long time, by the mid-20th century, the system was seen as outdated and overly complicated, especially for trade and education. Children in schools had to learn tricky conversions like 12 pence to a shilling or 240 pence to a pound, while the rest of the world was moving toward the simpler decimal systems, where everything is based on multiples of 10. The push for change began in the 1960s. In 1966, the British government announced that the country would finally adopt a decimal currency, and Decimal Day was scheduled for 15 February 1971. But instead of changing everything overnight, the authorities decided to gradually introduce the new coins so the public could get used to them. The first of these new decimal coins appeared in 1968, including the 5 new pence and the 10 new pence. These were chosen carefully, because they had exact equivalents in the old system. The 5 new pence matched the old shilling, and the 10 new pence was equal to 2 shillings, or a florin asterisk asterisk. This meant people could use them interchangeably with the older coins, making the transition smoother and less confusing. Now, the 1969 10 new pence coin asterisk asterisk was part of this early rollout. It was the second year of minting, following the initial introduction in 1968. Millions were struck by the Royal Mint, and they circulated widely alongside both old and new coins. The coin itself was quite large, measuring 28.5 millimeters in diameter and made of copper-nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance. This size was intentionally chosen so that it matched the old florin in both value and physical presence, helping people mentally connect the two. On the obverse, the coin bore the second official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin OBERA. This portrait, introduced in 1968, was one of the most iconic images of the Queen, showing her wearing the elegant Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This design became familiar to the public for decades, used on nearly all British coins from 1968 until 1984. The reverse design was by Christopher Ironside, the man behind most of the first decimal coin reverses. He chose the lion passant guard ant, a powerful heraldic symbol from the royal arms of England. The lion design represented strength, authority, and the long royal heritage of the nation. This imagery connected the modernization of the currency with the proud traditions of British history. It's also worth noting that the introduction of decimal coins like the 10 new pence wasn't just about math and convenience, it was about modernization and global trade. By the late 1960s, Britain was looking to align itself more closely with international standards, particularly as discussions of joining the European Economic Community, later the EU, were taking place. A decimal currency was easier for international trade and finance. The public reaction to these new coins was mixed at first. Some older generations preferred the old system they had grown up with, while younger people and businesses welcomed the simplicity of decimals. Still, the smooth rollout of coins like the 10 new pence in 1968 and 1969 helped prepare the population for the big change in 1971. The 1969 coin also tells us something interesting about the evolution of the 10 pence itself. When it was first issued, it was large and heavy, much bigger than the current 10 pence coin we know today. This large size remained in use until 1992, when the Royal Mint reduced its diameter to 24.5 millimeters and made it smaller and lighter, matching modern coinage standards. The 1969 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin is not only a collectible piece but also a historical witness to Britain's monetary transformation. It represents the bridge between the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, and the modern decimal system we still use today. Without coins like this, the shift in 1971 would have been far more confusing for the public. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors that determines value is condition. 2 coins from the same year and design can have completely different prices simply because one is worn down from circulation while the other is nearly perfect. For the 1969 10 new pence coin, condition is especially important, since millions of these were minted and circulated. Let's take a closer look at how condition affects its value, using common grading standards collectors rely on. These are struck with extra care for collectors, not circulation. They have sharp details, brilliant shine, and no visible wear. A BU coin can fetch £5 to £10 today. Specially struck using polished dies and blanks, proof coins have a mirror-like background with frosted designs. They were usually issued in presentation sets. A 1969 10 new pence proof can be worth £10 to £20 or more depending on condition and packaging. Occasionally, 1969 10 new pence coins may have minting errors, off-center strikes, double strikes, or clipped planchets. These error coins are much rarer than standard issues, and values can jump significantly, often £20 to £100 depending on rarity and eye appeal. When looking at your 1969 10 new pence coin, don't just think about the date, look closely at the details, shine, and quality. The difference between a common pocket piece and a collectible treasure often lies in the condition.